a lot more than I expected it to be. And everything's there to learn and to do in Vietnam. I don't know, I love Vietnam, and like there are always things to do like in America, where you have to go to like the supermarket to buy food, but here like you can walk outside and like there's someone selling food for you, and you have to travel far. And I really miss that aspect of being in America, because you don't get that a lot. And it's, I don't know, there's such a sense of community everywhere that you go, and there's always something fun to do. I feel like and it's never really boring. I'm like never home. I always go out for myself. You can just walk around and find something to do. So.
And what do you think students should prepare before going to Vietnam?
Sure. I know, like a lot of my friends, they have like high expectation of Vietnam. Like they don't know, like it's still like it's a third world country, and they just expect like things to be ready for them, and they just don't get the sense of like the not only is it, the language barrier is different, but like the way of life. Like instead of like going to Europe, like a lot of my friends can relate to being in Europe, because the way they live is like Westerners living, instead of like this is a whole complete like culture and like people and the language and completely everything. So I think people should have like do a lot more research, but like don't like I'm sure my friends did research too, but then like don't have like high expectation of anything in Vietnam. Just like take it as you go, and like just like expose yourself to it, and like don't expect to this and that, and like I'm sure like just expect to have a good time. Don't expect like this is gonna be the worst thing ever. I would just say like don't have any expectation, like in a good way, not in a bad way.
Yes. And you think Vietnam is a good place? It's a developing country?
I think so. Like, I mean, people say it's a developing country, but it still has like a lot of people who are doing really well, and they're wealthy, and they can take it on. I mean, there are sides I really like. There are really poor people, and there are really wealthy people. So like, there's like here, it's like no in between, but it's at a point where the whole country is growing as a whole. So I think it's a good place, and it's not like, I mean, there are worse places than we could be at.
It's a promised land.
It is a promising land, like
for students to explore.
Yeah, it is like not just like explore a different culture, but it's also for like personal growth. Like you can.
And what do you think about our culture?
I, I mean, I love it. I think it's a lot of people in America don't feel like there's a sense of a community anywhere you go, but in Vietnam you can always get that. People are like more friendlier, and it's just like there's no like personal boundary. Like anyone you meet, you just like call them a friend or anything. But in America, it's like you don't actually call that person a friend unless you like really know them.
Okay.
So it's like we're more of like a collective culture instead of like isolation.
Okay.
Big Westerners.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.